Hey Optimist. In the previous video, we looked at how can we enter values into the input field. In today's video, let's look at how to display the entered values so it looks like a to-do list. So to do that, let's first declare const to-do array and set to-do array. And let's just say use state, and I'm going to say array this time. If you didn't notice, last time we placed an empty string over here and now we are using an empty array. Before moving on, let me just clear a typo I made over here, and let's also add some CSS. So I already have a set of CSS. I'm just going to copy paste. I'll leave a link to it in the description. And the entire code is available in GitHub if you need. And I also try to leave the CSS in the first comment if possible. Why not? It's possible. Alright, now let's look at the to-do array. So why do we need this to-do array? So the functionality here is whenever I'm going to press enter or type submit over here, the value entered in the input field should be added to the to-do array, which will be then displayed in the browser. Alright, to achieve that functionality, let's add on click to our button. Let's just say on click equals to, and let's name that function handle click. Alright, now let's define that function. We are going to use arrow functions. Handle click equals to, and first let's check whether it works. So let's just say console.log click. Alright, let's switch back to our browser. We see that our CSS has changed our website a little bit. And I think it's okay for a mini project, I guess. Alright, let's inspect it and let's switch to the console tab. Now, if we click submit, it says click. Alright, the function is working. Let's switch back to our code editor. Before we move on and do anything, I'm going to add a little bit of style. So when we hover over button, I need the cursor to change into a pointer because this is not good, right? And now let's switch back to our browser. And now, yeah, it feels like a button. Alright, now let's switch back to our code editor. And now we need to add values into to-do array. Let's just clear this out first. To add values into to-do array, we need to use set to-do array. So let's just say set to-do array, and we need to put the value of our input field. It is input val. So can we just say input val over here? Will it work? So we don't know. Let's just say console.log to-do array. Alright, now let's go back here, refresh our page a bit. Alright, let's type in some value over here and let's just say submit. And we can see an empty array over here. That's weird. Let's just type something over here then. Now we can see ASDS, ASDAS over here. Now let's just say optimist and let's hit submit. But we can still see ASDSDA. Now, why is this happening? Why is it forming an array? Because, so to explain that, let's respect our code editor. Here, when we say set to do array input val, it's replacing the to do array with the value of the input field. It's not adding it to the array. So to add it to the array, let's just say to do var, and I'm going to use a function called concat, and let's just enclose this with it. Right, and now I'm going to remove console.log to do array and instead make it visible in the page itself. So to display the value of to do array in the browser, we are going to map over the to do array. So let's just say to do array dot map. To do array dot map, and let's just say le and run an arrow function and say p and le. So we enclose the value of element in a paragraph tag. So what it does is it loops over each and every element in that to do array and encloses it within a paragraph tag. So let's switch back to our browser and let's refresh it. Let's just say subscribe. Alright, we see subscribe over here, but we also get a weird warning like each child and should have a unique key prop. Let's deal with it. But before that, let's just say to, and let's just say the optimist. Alright, I hope I didn't bore you there. Let's switch back to our code editor. So why do we get a unique key prop error is whenever we loop over something in React, we need to pass a unique key prop ID to it because then only it knows what to render. So here we don't have any separate ID, but in real time you'll get an ID when you're using APIs or something. But here we can use the array indexes, but it's definitely not the recommended method in React community because array indexes change when you remove an element from the array, and it also causes re-render. It's a little bit complex to understand, but yeah, don't use array indexes for ID in React. Now let's just ignore that warning for now. If we switch back to our browser and if it hit enter, we see nothing happens. We need that functionality, right? So we are going to see how to make that work in the next video. Until then, bye from the Optimist. And if you'd like to cheer me up, sub to the channel would be amazing.